Yo, YouTube, what's crackin' like a jack is smacking? It's Waffle Man with a video. We got some My Career playoffs right here. Got that gameplay for you, recorded, edited, and I was gonna make this video with some online league gameplay, but apparently I don't have any online league gameplay because the online league doesn't work. And I was gonna use the gameplay to review the online league, which is what this video is about. So let's get it started, guys. The online league is basically the online association for next gen, and it's not even an association because there's a difference between a league and an association. Now in the online league you could choose teams, there's all the dirty teams again, but there's no draft, so you have to use the standard regular teams, which sucks because everyone loves to do a draft, and the drafts are the best part of online associations or leagues. Now you can invite people, but the problem is that you can only invite people. Unlike 2K13 or 2K14 current gen, you could just tell the person the name and the password or the ID and they could just join the league. Now in 2K14 next gen, I have to send them the invite, I have to be on to send the invite, and when you send the invite, not all the names on your friend list show up. Only the people that are online show up. And even with that, not even all the names show up still. So that's just very frustrating, and it's a dumb way to do it. Now, the good thing about this league thing is that when you're, configuring your settings, you could actually choose your roster. So I've actually tried this. I've added Rudy Fernandez to the Suns, and he was on the Suns. So you can actually add people to rosters. You can actually edit the players as well, making some teams balance not, and you can add the free agents. And another good thing is that you can start the league anytime. You can set the amount of teams that can be in the league, such as 25. So there'll be 25 teams in the league, and 5 teams that aren't there won't be there. And the thing is that you need those 25. You need all those 25 teams need to have a human person. Has to have a player on it, otherwise you can't start. And another thing that you could do is you could set the amount of games in a season and the amount of games in the playoffs. But the one thing you can't do is you can't change the difficulty, the quarter length, or change any sliders. Matter of fact, there aren't any sliders at all in the online league. So you can't even change the quarter length, which I believe is on 6 right now. You can't change the difficulty, which I think the difficulty might be on All-Star or Superstar, because that's the default difficulty for 2K Online now. And you can't even change the sliders, which I bet is on default. And anyways, I would have used default anyways because simulation sliders are just so stupid and ridiculous. But anyways, you can't set the league time quarter length like I just said. And another bad thing about the online league is that you can't kick people and you can't ban people. And you can't even promote or demote people to like admin or wherever. But pertaining to the owner has almost no power in the online league. I mean, the owner can't do anything. You can't reset games, you can't force wins, you can't force games. I mean, there's no features for the administrator, and it's just horrible, man. I mean, basically once you start the league, the only power the administrator has and the owner has is that if the administrator leaves, then the whole league is just stopped. The league is just over. It's ended. Once the owner of the league leaves the league, then the league is disbanded, and that's the dumbest thing I've seen from 2K. I mean, what are you thinking, 2K? What kind of nonsense is that? But anyways, let's move on. The league apparently has no advance time, which is weird because the league needs to advance, but anyways, there's nothing for the league to advance for. So I'm not sure if everyone has to play every single game, for the playoffs to start, but I just don't know. It's just so confused. It's not clear cut. It's like we don't know, and it's just man, I don't know, man. And the stats and the standings are so unorganized. Instead of it being like the regular stats and standings, it's just all over the place, man. And one of the things about the roster, which is very frustrating, is that the roster isn't in the same order as the regular roster is supposed to be. the roster is in the order that the teams were chosen in. So let's say you know the regular roster, you know, set up the way it's organized is Sixers, then I think Bobcats, and then Bulls. You know, it goes ABC order. In this thing, it goes to whichever teams got picked first. So if the Knicks were picked first, and then it was the Jazz and then the Heat, it would have been the Knicks, the Jazz, and then the Heat. And it makes it very frustrating to do trades and very frustrating to find teams and look at their rosters. And you know, it's just horrible, man. And another thing that's terrible is that you can't sign free agents. So you know, all those free agents that are just looping around, waiting for teams to be picked on. You know, you can't do anything with them. You can't sign them at all. And there's no salary cap in the online league. So all the trades, you could do any trade you want. It doesn't matter what salary the player has. There's not even any salary cap. There's no penalty for having a high salary on your team. There's none of that. And anyways, even if they did have that, you can't even sign free agents anyways. So all this is just pointless. But another thing is that there's no draft class. I'm not even sure in that case if there's even a draft for the second season, because it's just a league. So there ain't going to be any, you know, rookies. There ain't going to be any like rookies in the next season. I haven't even reached the second season because the league is so broken and the leagues are just failing to work right now. So right now I'm just playing the other 2K modes and it's just, oh my goodness, this is terrible. But another thing that's really bad about the online league is that you can't set your rotations. That is a big thing, man. How are we going to have an online league, you know, have our own teams and not going to be able to set the rotations for our teams in the menu? Basically, the only way to set our rotation is for us to do it in the game before the game. And the problem with this is only 12 people show up on the team, so you're not going to be able to, you know, if you have 15 players on the team, whoever's not listed on the team and is a reserve, you're not going to be able to use the reserve ever, and that's horrible. And you can't pick plays for certain people like you could do in 2K13 Online Association and 2K14 Current Gen Online Association. So that's another thing. So basically the same plays you have for your team right now is the only plays you're going to have, unless you want to, you know, press options during the game and just change all your plays, but that's just going to take too much time. There's no time for that. And that brings me to another point with the online league where the settings don't save, man. That doesn't make any sense. And this is a problem that I've been having with 2K forever now, that the settings never save. Every time I'm playing in the park, I change my shot to ISO motion because I hate the pro stick. I just hate the pro stick. I don't like the pro stick, and I don't have to like the pro stick. But when I change it and I change it to ISO motion, it never saves. So in the park, I'm forced to use the pro stick. And the same thing goes for the online league. I'm not forced to use the pro stick. But why do I have to change the settings every single time I enter the match? Why do I have to go to the settings and change what I want my plays to be full or light in the play vision? Why do I have to change that every single match? That's just ridiculous, man. 2K needs to step that game up. This is next gen. This ain't current gen anymore. And even in current gen, it shouldn't be like that. Another thing is that the setting. Yeah, I got the settings do not save. I was about to say the same thing. But the problem is that the league does not start up. And right now, currently, the league does not work. It happened twice that we had to start all over. And I'm basically done with the online league now. Unless they fix this nonsense, I'm basically not going to play this mode ever again. The rosters are a mess. I mean, this mode feels like regular quick match, just with a team that you're just gonna be using for the whole season, man. It's just unbelievable. You know, there are no conferences, which is weird. I mean, it may be fun to play sometimes, but that's because it's just competitive to have like all these people playing and, you know, versing people. And, you know, the PS4 obviously makes, you know, league communication better because we can have so many people in the chat and also the voice chat, so it makes it better. But in a way, 2K14 just dropped the ball with the online leagues, man. It's just ridiculous how bad it is. And, you know, there's so many problems with just logically, it just doesn't even make any sense. I mean, sometimes the wins don't even count, and, you know, it's just a mess. This is probably, I'm sorry, this is the worst league experience I've ever had in any sports game, in any 2K game. It's just horrible, man. So I'm going to give NBA 2K14, the online league, a 2 out of 10. So bad. And I'm going to be reviewing the park soon and the full game of NBA 2K14 soon. So stay tuned, and I'm out. Peace.